In 1923, German currency lost more value than a single loaf of bread. How did this unprecedented hyperinflation drag a peaceful nation into hell? Prices soared a trillionfold in just 1 year. Countless individuals lost their entire life savings in a matter of weeks. Yet, in reality, this failure stemmed from structural causes that continue to echo today. What was the truth behind the decisions that led a nation to ruin? Why did the state continue to print money? Who misjudged this crisis? And what lessons does it hold for modern economies? Let's delve into the full scope of the collapse that consumed the Weimar Republic. This feature will also extensively explain the political turmoil that followed. In 1918, the German Empire, defeated in World War I, collapsed. The Weimar Republic, symbolizing a new era, was born. It began as a pioneering democratic state for its time, introducing a republic and granting broad suffrage to its citizens. In Berlin, arts and sciences flourished, enjoying a cultural boom known as the Golden Twenties. However, beneath this hope lay a heavy fate: the immense war reparations mandated by the Treaty of Versailles. Germany was forced to allocate much of its national budget to reparations, leading to growing discontent and economic anxiety among its people. The government struggled to secure funds for reparation payments. At this point, the search for solutions was still ongoing. In the post-World War I international community, Germany, despite its growing isolation, was desperately seeking a path of cooperation. Yet, behind this superficial stability, the ticking bomb of the reparations issue, ready to explode at any moment, silently counted down. Lacking sufficient funds, the German government resorted to the easy solution of printing more currency to meet its reparation obligations. Ironically, this mass issuance of banknotes initially stimulated the domestic economy, temporarily reducing unemployment. Businesses found it easier to repay debts, expanding capital investment and production. On the surface, it appeared a boom had arrived. The depreciating currency also favored exports, leading to a temporary improvement in the balance of payments. The illusion that everything was still fine spread among the government and the public, and fiscal discipline gradually eroded. The central bank, unable to refuse government demands, had no choice but to continue printing money. As a result, the money supply accelerated dramatically. This success was merely a countdown to future ruin. Nobody recognized the impending disaster. Mesmerized by short-term gains, both the government and the public overlooked the gradually advancing signs of inflation. By the end of 1922, reparation payments began to falter again. This proved to be a fatal turning point. Then, in January 1923, France and Belgium, in retaliation, occupied Germany's industrial heartland, the Ruhr region. The German government responded by declaring passive resistance, deciding to compensate workers in the occupied territories. The funding for this enormous compensation also ultimately relied on the central bank's further printing of money. An unstoppable deluge of banknotes overwhelmed Germany, and prices began to skyrocket with furious intensity. People were forced to rush to spend cash withdrawn from banks before its value evaporated. Workers received their wages multiple times a week, instantly rushing to buy groceries as soon as they got paid. But here, a pitfall nobody noticed lay wide open. The central bank succumbed to political pressure, losing its independence. It no longer had the power to refuse government demands. The dual national imperatives of reparation payments and Ruhr resistance left the government with no option but to print more money. The collective delusion that inflation was temporary and would soon settle prevented them from facing reality. To quell public discontent, the government fell into groupthink, believing it had no choice but to print more. The immense resources already invested in printing currency created a sunk cost effect, making policy reversal difficult. The fear was that austerity measures to curb inflation would create more unemployment and accelerate social unrest. Nobody could halt this vicious cycle. They could only watch as the situation deteriorated. The very means intended to save the nation ironically became the weapon that led to its self-destruction. In the autumn of 1923, price increases peaked, with a single loaf of bread costing an absurd several trillion marks. People transported banknotes in wheelbarrows for shopping, an absurd situation where value was determined by weight. Workers' savings and pensioners' assets literally turned into worthless paper in an instant. Currency truly became less valuable than firewood, used as fuel in fireplaces, a dire spectacle. The collapse of the middle class deepened societal divisions, empowering extreme right and extreme left political factions. National credit was completely shattered, and the Weimar Republic was literally on the brink of ruin. By the end of 1923, the introduction of the Rentenmark and stringent fiscal reforms miraculously brought hyperinflation to an end. However, this devastating economic experience left deep scars and a profound distrust of the government among the German people. The Weimar Republic hyperinflation is a historical lesson demonstrating how erroneous economic policies can render a nation incredibly vulnerable. This history powerfully teaches us, living in the modern era, the critical importance of fiscal discipline and central bank independence. The quality of modern decision-making will undoubtedly differ greatly between those who understand this failure and those who do not. Why did the state continue printing money? To manage reparations and civilian resistance. Who misjudged the crisis? The government, the central bank, and collective delusion. And the lesson for today is the absolute paramount importance of fiscal discipline and central bank independence. Understanding economic history will serve as a compass to navigate and avoid modern crises. If you found this video informative, please subscribe and hit the like button. We release a new history of failure daily. Join us next time for another Collapse Chronicles.
この失敗は歴史のほんの1ページ。世界にはまだ語られていない失敗が数多くあります。失敗の歴史をチャンネル登録して次の物語もぜひご覧ください。